right now there's this situation where there are two parties that are at 102, the Democrats, and 101, which is the Republicans, in terms of who won the majority of seats in this past election. And that dispute, though, is already beginning to take shape in the form of a fight over who has the authority to schedule special elections. That's something that the Speaker of the House would normally do, and right now we don't have a Speaker of the House. So, going back to what I just mentioned, over the midterm elections, House Democrats were able to pick up 12 seats from Republicans. That means they have 102 wins overall. That would be a majority of spots in the general election, and it would give Democrats the slimmest of majorities. Now, what complicates things is that Representative Tony DeLuca from southwestern PA died the month before the election, and since he was reelected posthumously, House Democratic leader Joanna McClinton says that's good enough to give Democrats the majority as of today.
So the majority party is determined based upon the number of elections won, not the number of members who are sworn in. And just a couple of weeks ago, the House Democrats won 102 seats. And our state's constitution does not allow for the body to not have a presiding officer.
House Republican leader Brian Cutler disputes the idea, though, that the Democrats are in the majority. He says that DeLuca's win can't be counted toward a majority, and that means we would be at 101 to 101 in terms of control of the chamber and the majority status. And at this point, Cutler says he has scheduled a special election to find a replacement for DeLuca. However, at this point, Leader McClinton is disputing that he even has the authority to do that. So obviously there is a lot to be worked out right now as this leadership conflict continues to develop here in Harrisburg.